In.
Captain, you sit on the edge of capital space. Your battle with the space pirates netted you a full cargo hold of valuable crystals. Unfortunately, it's left the Greyhawk crippled and drifting. Reggie, the ship's mechanic, is working desperately to get the ship back online. Um, but right now, you are on minimum systems. Quill, the ship's doctor, radios you and lets you know that Renee, your first mate, has been critically wounded in the battle with the pirates. And if she doesn't get help at a clinic soon, she may not survive. As you drift quietly through the asteroid field, your ship pings the sensors of a capital patrol ship brought here out of hyperspace by the space battle. What do you do?
All right. So, as we drift into space, I will need a moment. My crew is not doing well. We are what one would call floating ducks. It's time we push the button. I would like to push the button.
Are you sure you want to push the button?
I've thought long and hard about this. I've been a captain for 2 months. I'm extremely experienced. I believe pushing the button is the only option.
All right. You flip up the safety panel, revealing the large red button.
I dab my head with a napkin because I'm very much sweating.
As you dab away the sweat, you press the red button, and the life support pod pops away from the ship, and you float away towards the capital ship, leaving your crew to certain doom. But at least you made it.
Yes! That is all that matters. The captain must survive. The captain never goes down with his ship. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Slaying Dragons in the Morning. I am your host, Hunter.
I'm the co-host here at Slaying Dragons in the Morning. My name is Joey.
And we have a special guest, as we do every show. Joey, who is our special guest?
Our special guest is, well, first of all, you can find him streaming here on Twitch under Mondaysami. But he is the production and event manager at Serendipity Catering. It's our friend, Sam Halsberg. Welcome in, Mondaysami.
Howdy.
Good morning,
Howdy.
Sam. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
So, Sam, we have known you for a little while now, right?
It's over 2 years now?
Something like that.
This is like the third one?
Time is a construct. I don't know. But yeah, we've known you for quite a while.
The third year.
Something like that. Carter said it on the last episode, I think. I don't know. But
yeah, we went through all this.
We did go through
this. We're rehashing old territory. We're washed up.
Yep. Just cancel the stream. Go ahead and shut it all down. Shut it all down. Yeah, we've known you for quite a while, Sam. How did we meet? Why are we friends? Why did you choose us?
Friends? That's a good question. Why are we friends?
Why did you choose us of all people in the world?
Why are we friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how we met was at Great Escape Adventures up in Ithaca and Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really weird, I mean, I guess it was a more memorable experience that we met because I first came to the F&M night, and like 31 other people had the same idea, and Hunter was the only person working that night. And I didn't know it at the time, but like my best friends were essentially all there that night now, because Rob, I believe Rob and Toby were there.
Yeah, you guys helped
But
a lot.
but there were so many people that I had no idea. Horrible mess. Everyone showed up, either at the same time or late for F&M, because Ithaca hadn't had a game store for F&M for the longest time. So everyone's like, yes, let's all go. And so we waited like, I don't know, we were delayed like an hour or an hour and a half to play F&M. Nobody cared. Everyone's like, yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But it was like complete chaos, because like there was literally only like 12 chairs and 32 people wanting to play. And Hunter's just like, we literally had a megaphone, and Hunter was like trying to talk about it, and he's just like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, you look like you're, not having a great time. Do you need any help? And so he was like, oh my God, okay, I'm putting you to work. You work here now. I was like, sure, that's fine.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was really weird because I had gone there with the intention. I was like, you know what? This is really close to my house. This is like, something I really wanted. And I was like, I need this to be like my thing. Like I wanted GA to be the store that I went to. And so I like went there with the intention to befriend everyone at the store. And I'm, obviously really glad that I did, because it turned out great. And for Joey, much the same thing for the, group of everyone that worked at GEA, including Carter, who I remember Carter just like knowing who I was, and I'm like, oh yeah, who is he? Why did he know me? But it was a similar experience for Joey, where I was like, trying to help him out, and just sticking around, an extra long time.
It was
those early Friday Night Magics were something.
They were hazardous.
Yeah, it went from 32 people to 4 people, and it was
we
always
got to
me.
the point we hired Carter, and Hunter and I were just like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah. We're not allowed to staff more than one person. Good luck.
Oh, that was the best. We're like, you like magic? Yeah. All right, Friday nights, that's you.
Yeah.
You've got it. You've got it. I promise you, you're going to be okay. Oh, that was the best. I remember that because I had that megaphone, and I tried using the megaphone, and then the mall yelled at me. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to wrangle up all these dumb kids then?
I mean, luckily, like you said, it went down to 4 people pretty quick. Not because it wasn't, bad. I don't know. I think people just wanted to make sure they were there for the first night.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, there was a big modern group that was there that didn't have that outlet. So that's why a lot of people didn't end up showing up. But
yeah,
you guys obviously weren't there every F&M, but
right.
I actually tried to be there like every single night, and I was for like a couple of months. Oh,
You gonna die, Sam? You good?
I'm very burpy.
What are you drinking?
This is water, but
Nice.
this is espresso. This is my second cup, so we'll see how that goes.
Look at that cup. That cup is beautiful. That's a good
Very yes.
That's a good
Very
cup.
sleek, very slim, literally.
Oh, hey, it says
It's
SM. Slaying dragons in the morning. See, he was so prepared. He was like, I'm so ready. And Joey, do you have a new cup today, or is it still the beautiful DuckTales cup?
I brought back the Darkwing cup.
Oh, nice. The Darkwing cup. Nice. Here's me with a special can as usual.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking to get wings.
You get that on Etsy?
I bought it right off Etsy. Perfect custom design. Oh, it's wonderful. It's got a removable cap.
Cap? You should get a beer cozy for your Red Bull. I think that would
Oh
you know,
Slaying Dragon.
change up your
Then we
aesthetic.
should sell those.
Oh,
Yep,
Slaying
that's
Dragons in the
what.
Morning
There you
Cozies.
go.
Oh my
Right.
god. Perfect. Oh, Sam.
Yeah.
See, this is why we need you on the show. You're perfect, man. You're perfect. You know all about the good.
That was
the good,
our.
good.
That was Hunter and my original idea. That was
Okay.
our OC.
Yeah.
Do not copy.
Don't
It's
ship.
made, do not
Like,
ship.
by the
Don't
way, that
ship.
thing you signed, anything you say on the stream is now,
It
ours.
belongs to us. Yeah. Speaking of things that have died, or have gotten completely rotten,
Go on.
as we
Great interlude.
as we segue into our next topic here, this movie has officially become rotten, thanks to Rotten Tomatoes and all of its reviews and things. What is that movie that has completely become officially rotten, Joey?
That would be another nostalgia trip. Wonder Woman 84 has gone down from its 90s that it had before release into the rotten zone on Rotten Tomatoes, which is probably not a good sign for Warner Brothers or the DCEU or HBO Max.
Very poggers.
Yeah, it's not very good. Not very good. You know, and it's crazy, man. Because I love the first one. Oh my god, the first Wonder Woman was phenomenal. Oh, it's great. And ever since this one came out, I've been so scared to just even watch it. I mean, it's
How many people were excited that they're like, "Oh, DC movies are going to be good"?
After the first Wonder Woman? Yes, after the first Wonder Woman, I was like, oh my god, they're finally going to do everything right. Like, we're going to get good DC heroes. Like, it's going to be awesome. And then it didn't happen. I was very, very upset.
You know, it's a lot. I think this one is a lot of just meandering, boring writing, right? And
yeah, it's
not
lazy.
like it's like Gal Gadot is still there. Like, she's got the presence for the role, and Pedro Pascal is knocked it out of the park again. But there just wasn't content there for them to work with.
Yeah, definitely. Like, the acting was fine. Like, it's like, if people think that the acting wasn't good, it's because the direction wasn't good. Like, they weren't giving anything to them to do.
Yeah. It's very upsetting. I really had hopes for the movie itself.
And like, yeah, and then like Patty Jenkins is attached to Rogue Squadron now, and I know a lot of people were psyched about that as they start to like expand Star Wars into other projects. Mm-hmm. Well, what does this mean for Rogue Squadron now? Like, is that just going to be like a mess? Are we gonna get the first Wonder Woman? Or are we gonna get Wonder Woman 84?
Yeah, oof.
Because
it's very scary. But you know, at least they have 12 shots to shoot, and if just one of them misses, I'm sure it's fine. They're just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah, I mean, like, the problem with the direction is they're like, okay, as soon as we're done with this scene, let's go to the next one, then not explain anything. It's just like kept on running through all the beats. A lot of the time it was just, placed in the middle of a scene of something happening. Like, I had completely forgot that she even had a boyfriend. I was like, who is this guy? Why is he here? But that's my own fault, maybe.
You had to rewatch the first one. Come on, Sam. Jeez.
Yeah.
Chronological order. Why would you ever watch a movie from the last ones and then watch the prequels before it? That's stupid. Who would ever do that?
At least it's not Marvel, right? Where you got to watch 25 films before you watch.
Before you can watch it. Oh, see, but that's the best part about Marvel, man. I mean, you just get to watch so many movies. Well, so speaking of that, I mean, the movie didn't even. I mean, it went straight to HBO Max, right? I mean, I know we wanted to talk about that and how movies are. A lot of movies are just going straight to streaming instead of theaters. I mean, how
that's
that
definitely
affected
pushing that narrative so much further right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was supposed to be like the flagship product that launched HBO Max. Like, Time Warner put so much into getting Wonder Woman on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And then to have it bomb like this, what does that mean for like their plan going forward?
Mm-hmm.
I know they're in a really bad spot right now, and AT&T is like who owns all of that, Time Warner Media and Warner Brothers, and everything, is just axing products. So what is this like? This happening? Like, do they get sold off now?
Yeah.
Like, do they not back it because the money's not there for it?
They pushed hard for that HBO Max thing too. Every time I was watching a video, the ad would be like that AT&T girl being like HBO Max. And now we think about it, they're going to be like, well, why do I want that? It has dumb movies like Wonder Woman 84.
Yes. Yeah. You definitely see 84 before you see HBO Max even sometimes when they're like trying to push it.
Yeah, like Joey said, I mean, what's that mean for all the other properties they own? You know, are they going to...
Not good. It's
not
they're
good
definitely
at all.
not going to invest as much, or at least, reduce the amount of films being produced. I don't know what the roadmap looks right now, but
what were you telling me yesterday, Joey? What did they just do with DC Comics or something?
So DC Comics is getting cut, like a lot of titles. They're going from like 64 titles to like 12 for the direct market. Like they're just gonna put out like the major books like Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Batman, because the direct market books aren't selling. They just sold off Crunchyroll to Sony.
yeah.
Ruby is going on extended hiatus because they own Rooster Teeth. They apparently are like not funding those guys,
which sucks because people love Ruby, man.
There's a diehard
huge following for that.
So who knows if we'll see more stuff from Rooster Teeth, or does Rooster Teeth just get rolled into Cartoon Network, or does all of that just get rolled into stuff for HBO Max and we see like Rooster Teeth and
how long is it until it's one conglomerate?
Right.
Wait until Disney just owns it all, and then we won't have to worry because then the mouse will just take care of it. He's so smart.
Put out there.
How does he do it all?
just let Dave Filoni take over everything. Just let him direct everything. All right, because he's such a genius. He'll make sure everything works. Talking about things that had to get fixed by someone somewhere in the world, Sam, let's talk a little bit about something that's a bit more relevant to you, and that is you having to work through COVID pandemic and run a restaurant and catering and all these things. How difficult was that? What was that like doing that? And also tell us what it is that you do.
Well, so like Joey said, I'm the production and event manager at Serendipity. So I deal with all the hard goods that would be needed for stuff like weddings. And one of the big things about running a restaurant during COVID, for us particularly, is the fact that we don't have a restaurant. We are a catering service that had to build a kitchen outside because our venue has an absurd space that can fit, can fit about 500 people. But of course that number couldn't exist because of COVID. And also we couldn't do it because that would be way too many people. So we fit about 50 or so in this outdoor space. So it was one of the biggest restaurants that was outdoors in Ithaca. And
I didn't know that.
It went better than expected. We were like, okay, we're gonna do this. We already do food. Our chef Frank is able to. He has a kitchen background. Has a restaurant background. And our sous chef did not, but I mean, he obviously did fine, but definitely a huge turn for him. But yeah, it was a lot of just moving to get ready, because after we came out of quarantine, it was all hands on deck. We're going to buy all these tables, we're going to buy all these chairs, we're going to acquire everything we need to do this, and we did it. And it was a lot of work, but it ended up, being something that a lot of people actually liked, we definitely had full seats nearing the end of the season in September. Going into October, we kept it alive with fire pits.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
you guys ran
yeah,
really late in the year, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it went well. We also had a whole TV setup because that was one of the other original ideas was that we would do movies like movies in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for the first few days, it was good. But the thing is that there was so much to do in the short amount of time coming out of quarantine that it ended up being, putting the movie theaters back, and it suffered because it was freezing. Literally, like the first night, perfect. Everyone loved it. It
Mm-hmm.
was full. And then the next was like, you know, way too cold. And then every other day it was like, who knows what it would be.
Gotta bring
Um,
space heaters.
yeah. So it's not a table service. It's like, and it's not counter service either. It's just you order, you sit down. You can either do it from your phone, you walk up, and then we bring it to you, and then you're like, okay, you good? I'm not coming back. So
Good. Not coming back.
yeah,
Nice.
unless you flag me down or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, went pretty good.
What kind of other? Because obviously, from both sides of the counter, there's the people who are the customers, and then there's people who are behind who are selling other products and being the waiters and waitresses. What type of what type of small problems or big problems did you guys run into that you had to take care
Um,
of due to COVID or pandemic?
we didn't have so much a problem with I would say like a good example is like Walmart having like people walk in without masks and stuff. Usually people are pretty respectful about it, and of
Mm-hmm.
course at a restaurant you don't need to wear a mask as long as you're sitting down. You don't even need food in front of you because like the laws have. Why is my phone doing that?
God.
The laws are super weird because uh everyone was looking at Cuomo like we need to listen to this guy and figure out what is okay and what is not. And so just trying to extrapolate from him is weird because we also have to listen to one our like district manager for the laws and food service quality. But the other weird thing about listening to food safety is that the liquor authority is above them. And so whatever they say is more important than uh, that. So it was super confusing to have three different like things where it's like, yes, no, maybe so. And the other
Hmm.
problems that we had was figuring out capacities of like, you know, we can hold 500 people, we can't serve that many, how many can we hold? And so we would talk to people online and or we would figure out who we should talk to, not just random people online. But everyone had a different answer, and the actual people that we called for food safety, they were just put in that job because they needed more people in all of these different places, like the COVID whatever the like position is for trying to inform people. It's a new job, but these people were not trained because we talked to more than one, and we're like, okay, so we can have 500 people, and they're like, well, you can have 75%, and it's like, oh, so we can have 450 people, and they're like, yeah, and we're like,
Mm, that doesn't seem right.
yeah, and so it was a lot of you know word of mouth telephone game of like not knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it came to music. You There's a rule where you can't uh have live music and stand up, but like if it's not live you could stand up, of course with your mask on, but like
Mm-hmm.
dancing was a big thing where it was back and forth about were you allowed to stand, were you allowed to dance, you know is it okay to have music while you're there that encourages dancing? So it was
Hmm.
a lot of like rules that would make sense if you really think about it, but the application of them didn't make any sense. Um, and a matter of which a lot of people were confused about, of there was a law which I'm sure most people in America now know, or at least upstate, that you can carry out alcohol in New York State, which
Mhm.
wasn't a thing.
Right.
Um, but that wasn't a COVID law. That was something that was passed beforehand. And so now it's like I can't remember what happened to it now, but then it was also being moved out. So it was like when COVID was getting better, and then, you know, this whole back and forth of like, is this going to continue? Am I going to get fined, an absurd number like $20,000 for selling alcohol improperly? And it's like a weird risk that you have to take because, you know, selling alcohol is the most lucrative thing for a restaurant. So it was very weird.
Yeah, that's
Well, I know.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, like you just said,
We
alcohol
talked
is one
about
of the
being on
most.
the other.
Go ahead, Joe. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, we had talked about being on the other side of the counter a little bit during that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so for so long it was either drive through,
Mm-hmm.
or it was you could DoorDash something or carry something out.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time sitting down in a restaurant during COVID. It was like the greatest thing, and it was just like Buffalo Wild Wings. But it was just like, oh, hey, we like get served and can sit here and have a conversation at a table.
Pretending like you're, human again, or nothing's changed.
Oh, Joey, now you're making me want BDubs. We should go to BDubs later. We should meet up. Go to BDubs.
We should. Yeah.
Oh man, God, that sounds so good. Remember when we hold
F in the chat for
we're getting F in the chat for BDubs.
yeah, if it could BDubs.
Speaking of
I
BDubs,
think
we're gonna
BDubs did not survive COVID.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We're gonna get off topic real quick. Joey, remember when we used to go to BDubs like literally every Tuesday and Thursday? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and like that was and not to say we don't want this, but we still want this. But to be sponsored by BDubs and have BDubs free for life. Oh, cheese curds every day. I could just get a heart attack, for real.
And you would. You should.
Oh, I had to get off topic for a
How
second.
that works.
I had to get off topic for a second there. Oh, nostalgia. Oh, gee, it is. So speaking about being behind the counter stuff too, one thing that people, because you were saying how alcohol is one of the most lucrative things that like a restaurant sells and stuff like that. One of the biggest things that people literally like complained about, like oh my God, complained about, and it was the stupidest thing to complain about. I feel like is if you wanted alcohol, you had to buy food.
Yep.
Okay.
The New York State meme.
Like
we had some of those problems. We had 3 people, I believe, walk in. Everyone always had that thing. It's like, hey, do we have to? We're like, yeah, we can't serve you legally. And it was awkward because we have 2 different like stations.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bar trailer and then there's a cook tent where you get your food and your alcohol. And so people would come in right away and go order alcohol and sit down. We're like, there was a sign, I'm sorry, like you have to. But this specific group was like, okay, and just left. And then I came, I was like, hello? Like, no one here. I have 3 drinks. So they bought them and just left. They were like, we're not going to eat food. Like, it made no sense. Yeah, not even like, wings.
It's so weird. So
even though you can order wings, but yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thing. Anytime I drink, I am eating food. I don't get how it was so hard for people to eat food while they drink. Anytime I order a drink, I'm eating something.
Yeah, I can understand wanting to go have like cocktails and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like, the guidelines were, moved around so much that you didn't need to like spend that much to be able to order food with your drink. So it was like weird that people would just be like, I'm leaving. Yeah, that was actually what
there you go. Like, just order a side of fries. Order something that's like $2. Like, sorry, but that's like life right now. One of the other things too, because I was talking to somebody about it when it first came out. It seemed like another reason why they put it in place too is because when people come in, and if they are people who just come in and drink, right, they will sit there forever. They're there forever, drinking and drinking and drinking. Because if they don't eat anything, they just sit there and keep drinking. But people who eat and drink with their food, they tend to be in and out faster. Like, so it was to make it so people could like have places to go and there wouldn't be as many people in the restaurant at the time. Or at least that was like what I thought at the beginning. I don't know if that's true. But,
yeah, the term was being belly up to the counter and just, going, meeting all of your friends at the bar and just drinking. Because the whole thing is that, like, I mean, one of the problems they had in Disney World is that people got around wearing masks by drinking while they were walking. And so, it was a lot of like, hey, you can go out and eat, so all of the restaurants don't just go out of business. But then, you're creating this culture of like, oh, I can still go see my friends because, I know that my friends wouldn't get COVID because, they're my friends. It's like, that's not how that works.
Mm-mm.